Okay, so hi guys. Today we're here. The three of us are here to discuss about an effective lockdown and the government still being able to kickstart the economy in the midst of this lockdown. So we have two new speakers today. So Sachin, if you could introduce yourself, and then Harikesh.
Yeah, I'm Sachin from MVJ Medical College. So I'm Sean's classmate. Yeah.
Harikesh.
Yeah, I'm Harikesh from MVJ Medical.
Harikesh, a little louder. I'm not able to. We're not able to hear you.
Hi, I'm Harikesh from MVJ Medical College, and I'm Shravan.
Okay. So Sachin, if you can start off with your views and opinions on this topic.
So first thing is actually the government already since our PM gave a 14 day, it came to an end. The 21-day lockdown came to an end yesterday, and our PM gave a speech regarding how to further extend the lockdown and what measures are being taken after 20th. I think 20th is the day, that is the date where till when this lockdown will continue, and after that there'll be a loose lockdown where other essential and non-essential services, few non-essential services will be allowed. So to maintain a balance between that, I think the major thing which has to start right now is the agriculture thing, because that is in more demand is my opinion. Yeah, they are doing that again. Harvest should be
Mumbai CM, he decided that he'll agriculturalists and farmers will have a free run on this, and they'll start farming from today. So it was decided yesterday. I heard it on the news. Yeah, please continue.
So the agriculture, it is not the rural population is already not affected that much, as we all know. So kickstarting the agriculture, to start with the agriculture is very much needed, and we can do it right now. It's not that difficult to kickstart. And again, if agriculture comes into the picture, then this also the transportation, the harvest, again the transportation, how to evacuate it to the mandis, and how we can transport it, all that comes into the picture. So again, it's not quite easy, this thing. You should only experts can do the decisions, and we are just here to discuss few points which we think uh, yeah, Harikesh can add some points, and then later
So actually,
I'll add a few points.
I had a point in mind. So what my point is that a huge part of our agriculture is also dependent on, I feel, on the migrant laborers and migrant population. So in a lot of places, what we are hearing is that, in the news at least, is that the lack of laborers is affecting how they are going to harvest and how they're going to get the work done for most of the agricultural work done. So that is one of the things which I found, which is going to be a challenge if you're opening up the agriculture. And second thing is, like you said, it won't only open up the transport system, but I think it will also open up a lot of other industries.
And bring it to the market. The worry of the sellers is that people don't come to buy there. They go somewhere else where there is no protected measures. So the worry is that they are not able to sell it in the good price.
So what he's telling is the demand and supply. Demand may be not equal to the supply, is what he's telling, I guess.
I feel that can be overcome because India has a huge population, and if you reroute the supplies properly and you effectively do distribution, I think you will be able to reduce the wastage, if not completely prevent wastage, and you will also be able to increase the demand. See, in the lockdown situation, yes,
messages going on the social media that the farmers, if without even transporting the fruit, they are destroying their crops in their own field, and also the poultry, cattle, all the things they are destroying. So that is one of the worry.
Okay, so that is correct. Harikesh, if you could use your phones with the mic, I think it could be heard a little more clearly.
That's one.
So, Sachin, one more point which I wanted to add to yours is that not only will transport system improve, but a lot of other minor industries like I felt industries which work on food packaging, which work on food processing, like for producing wheat, for producing rice, for producing a lot of grains. You need the processing industries also, which will also slowly come into place. So it won't be only the transport system, but a lot of associated industries which will come into play. And I think these industries will have to come into play, like Harikesh said, to prevent
There's a lag
the
showing.
wastage. We are seeing that there is a huge shortage of rice and shortage of wheat in a lot of places. So,
Shravan, there is a lag in your video, Shravan.
oh, okay.
Okay, you can now it's proper. You can continue.
It's proper?
Yeah. Okay, you can continue.
Sachin, are you able to hear?
Yeah. Please make the point again, so we will be able to continue.
To reiterate my point, where I was that the agriculture industry is a huge industry. It's not only about farmers and transport. You also have associated industries like food processing industries, food production industries. You have packaging industries. All of these will also slowly have to be kickstarted to supplement the agricultural industry. And as you're seeing, there is a shortage of rice and wheat in a lot of areas. So food processing industries which convert the rice, paddy, and wheat into the final product will also be required. Similarly, for production of bread and other things, which are also a part of the essential commodities, will also have to be started along with the transport industry. So I think, like Sachin said, that is a very good place to start with agricultural industry, because India is also an agricultural country. Harikesh, what are your points?
Yeah, I agree with your point, but the thing is, farmers require proper communication from the rural to the urban, so that there is no wastage of food, there is proper transport, and the commodities reach the people in need, and farmers are also benefited with their profit. So that should be the thing. So there should be proper communication.
And here, like 400 districts, according to the thing I saw, 400 districts are without any cases. So keeping 400 districts in lockdown is just like waste. Like you can kickstart the economy there. Like within the districts, you can kickstart like to a maximum extent, and with the other districts, there should be a already the government discussed about it, phased release of the lockdown, and so
now recently, like the hotspot should be cared most, like major metro cities, Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore. So that should be first in lockdown, first preference. The rest of the rural cities or the local towns must be removed of the lockdown or slowly, so that it goes on properly.
Okay, so this is from an agricultural point of view. So what do you think are the like Modi ji was telling essential services will come under a loose lockdown from April 20th onwards based on how bad the cases are. So by that, what is your opinion on that? Because I feel that it can be a boon also and it can be a bane also, because
can you come again with the question?
My question is that essential services, you said, like I'm talking not only about like hospitals and all that, but also things like electricians, plumbers, people who help in daily activities, caretakers, caregivers. Because if you look at it, somehow people have managed for almost 3 weeks, but to ask people to manage further is again another challenge. Maybe somehow 3 weeks they had enough ability, they were able to manage with help. But how long will people continue to manage without this? So in a lot of places you'll have issues with plumbing, issues with electricity, you'll have so many other problems. So how do you expect? What do you think? What is your opinion? How should the government go about making these things available to the people? Is my question.
I think like you are talking about the daily wage workers and all that.
Yeah.
So I don't think like they're in like they have a financial challenge to maintain their families and whatever. But like, okay, if you release them from the lockdown, if they can work, but I don't think where do they work? That is the point, right?
See, like I'll
See,
give a-
normal days itself, the requirement of electrician, plumbers, or other daily wage worker is not everyday requirement. Normal days itself, they don't have much proper job. So during the lockdown, they should releasing them of the lockdown. It's not quite a good idea, but still we can go through that.
Yes, I would actually like to.
Considering the and also considering the negligency of the negligency and lack of knowledge of that class of people, it's better to keep them
And
in
see, suppose we release lockdown of these people. Many people, in the name of electrician, plumbing, or other daily wage workers, will come out, and the purpose of the lockdown won't be good.
It's already like it is very hard to in a country like India. It's very hard to maintain. You see how much the police is suffering. Like they are very
See, yesterday also, today I saw in the paper that police will 30% of police will get a weekly off, like this week off. But the police point of view is that if they go to house, they won't be their family will be at risk. So again, when these daily wage workers come out and go to their home, their family is at risk. So one person may have at least 4% in a family. So it goes on multiplying. So it's not a good idea, I feel.
Makes sense.
And the system would be very loose. Like how can the police find out who is the plumber or who is the system is not going to work. Yeah, the verification won't be proper. They won't most of the people won't have the job the ID cards are those things, right? So it won't be proper.
So
Shravan,
what I feel my suggestion, my viewpoint is you both have put forward two very, very good points. So what I feel is that maybe as an individual house, you might feel that there is not much of a problem in your house when it comes to electricity or plumbing. But if you look on a larger scale with everyone staying in their houses, there are bound to be a lot of such issues which come up. Now, an apartment with all its residents is bound to have some plumbing problem or the other, which usually will not face such a heavy load at a normal time. That is one point. Second point, what I feel is maybe in an organized way, like how Big Basket and Swiggy work, if you can have daily wage laborers in an organized manner through Urban Clap or through some other registered network being released after verification.
That's a very good point.
These all come under online delivery platforms, right?
Yeah, so even Urban Clap or Urban Company is an online platform where you can hire your plumbers, electricians, or any other help for carpenters, maybe things like that. So maybe such an organized sector. See, we can also
an NGO organization could be formed of these people, and we can go about that.
This is one more thing which I felt is India right now has a very good opportunity to organize the unorganized part of the society. That is, all your migrant laborers can come into a certain organized workforce. It's not that they have to be a very educated workforce, but rather an organized workforce with a set of rules and regulations, so that it's not being misutilized also. That is what I felt.
Yeah, that's right.
So any other points?
Urban
that you
is
guys-
like in the urban area, I don't think it will create a lot of problem because you know, yeah, it's like in the rural land, like not like suburban populations. You know, you can't find out who is the like plumber if he's traveling. You know, okay, large scale. I don't think like as you said, apartments and all. I think they'll have an emergency worker whom they hire, and I don't think they'll have that much of problem with the workers.
Okay.
You know, if you
No,
see apartments and all, the security guards are in duty. They're not like nobody is there in the apartment. It's not like that.
Yeah, on IT industry today in the paper I saw that some of the top CEOs, they were like the productivity is increasing by staying at home.
Okay.
So there could be a major change in the IT industry after the lockdown.
Yeah.
See, people were
Yeah,
like
they can
at home.
consider-
There is no peer pressure. There is only like they are with their family. They work properly. The productivity is increasing. So the IT industries will see a major reform in this during this lockdown period.
That's a very good point. Very nice point. But one thing which I felt is I think such things which I feel should be based on a little more longer duration of time, because 1 month I feel is very short duration to assess productivity of people from home. So I feel maybe a longer duration would give a better opportunity, but that is a very good step in easing the work pressure.
No,
and
that can be
workload,
like a shift change,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, shift based thing.
Yeah, shift based thing. Then it'll have an effect on positive effect on the traffic also. If we consider
Yeah, the positive effect on trap. But the point is that the rented place of the like the Magnet or something like that, they will face a problem on renting to the companies. So that could be one of the demerit.
I think this we can discuss completely as a separate topic. There's a lot to
Yeah,
discuss
separate,
about
Yeah,
this.
that could be a separate
So,
topic.
to talk about one more thing is, what do you think about the manufacturing sector? What do you think? How should they go about? Should they also be going to a graded manner?
Yeah, like manufacturing industries and small scale industries, yeah, they can hope to like start with 50% of the what workers they have, because totally with 100% you can't even they'll face challenges in like maintaining proper distancing and providing certain facilities for them. And again, it'll be a problem for the workers also to like everyone can't rush to their workplace, right?
And also the demand will increase with the supply, or the supply becoming less. So the people staying at home use more of the products. So when there is no production, it will be a problem to people who are in the need of the things, like say basic things, like lamp, like daily need things. So that will be a problem.
And the industry should also make sure that they are providing all the essential, like the protective measures, like the masks and sanitizer, what is needed for the protective measures. Working like companies working with can't work with AC, air conditioner on. That is also like it's a facilitating factor for the virus to infect fast. That can be also considered.
That was the major point in closing down the IT sector. So
yeah, that was a major point.
One more thing which I have a question is, do you think manufacturing sector where they employ migrant population or like shift-based workers who stay in the manufacturing place itself, can they use certain quarantine measures also, or isolation measures, before they induct their people into the manufacturing work?
Okay, like come again. Isolation, I didn't get.
Like what I meant is, see, India currently does not have enough capability to test each and every person, and it's humanly immediately not possible in a short duration of time. So to rule out any possible unsuspected COVID cases, what I would suggest is maybe those workers who reside in the premises of the manufacturing industry, maybe they could have a isolation period over there before they go and work in that area. So in the sense that once they come to that premises, they can be under isolation for 10 to 14 days and then go into the workshop to start their work.
Again, executing that will be a problem. Again, I think that's what is my guess.
See, my
14 days
is like the
isolation of workers.
set of people could work for 14 days and another set can come for the next 14, like the quarantine period. That could be one thing. Not just like isolating them for 14 days without doing any work.
Yeah, I mean,
so there also the productivity will decrease. So quarantine for 14 days along with the work, and the next set of people doing repeating the things.
Like keeping them in the premises is a good thing. That is a good thing which I saw. That's a good development. That's a good idea.
And
keeping them in the premises and not sending them to the society.
So one more thing which I wanted to talk about is India is a huge country which depends on its service sector. That is your restaurants, your hotels, your lodges and all that, because there is a lot of people continuously traveling in India, and even the tourism sector to a great extent plays a major role in many of the states. So what do you think should be the focus for those service sector and for your tourism sector when it comes to
see, my point is that government could take up those lodges and create it like a quarantine or a war room, so that the government pays them and they also get their profit. Like nowadays people don't travel, right, due to these circumstances, so they will be always at loss. So they will be at loss. I think government could provide with this thing. So it will be helpful for the government also and these people also.
I think the tourism department, I don't think it should be open now. I don't think this is the right time. Whatever it is, even if travelers want to travel or whatever, I think it should be like in halt till all this completely gets off, because that is where we get the spread, right? So you can't afford to open those departments, and you can't expect income from, you can't expect the revenue from that department.
And there's also the social stigma that it may spread again if we travel to some place. So people also won't travel, and some people have the social stigma of not eating in the hotels also, thinking that it may pass on the virus. So that would be a problem for the hotel people and the tourism department.
I don't think that's a good idea. It'll spoil the whole point.
It's what I was thinking on the lines of was that once the economy slowly starts coming back and people start going back to their places of work, hotels will play a major role, because people who do not stay in a particular city, or even those people who do stay also, everyone does not necessarily pack their lunch from home to go to their workplace. Many of them do eat in hotels, get food from hotels. So in that situation, that once the lockdown has slowly been eased, what would be the rules that the restaurants or hotels would have to follow to prevent as a possible place for spread of the virus? Like, should they mainly focus on only parcel-based services, or should they focus on reducing the number of tables, increasing distance between tables, things like that, or certain methodology in screening the staff and things like that?
See, hotels, if you're speaking about hotels, it won't have only the, it is not like only workers come and eat there. Even even sitting at home, even we feel like going to
Yeah.
hotels and like having something, whatever. Okay, so that can't be like okay, maintaining say social distancing over there. I don't think it will work at this point because there was a lockdown and suddenly you remove the lockdown. It's like your hotels are open and you can go, and suddenly people will be in a rush to go and have their whatever they like, and it won't work that way. Again, it'll be all be you know. So
The parcel-based
talking about
services should be provided.
yeah, parcel-based services, yeah, that can also be provided, and that should be in a limited, like whatever the the right.
Whatever is the need, not more than the
not like more than that, more than the need. And talking about the employees, I think the what the industries can provide the food till this lockdown gets over. I think they can manage that thing. It's not a great challenge for them to manage that. I think they can do that.
So any other points you guys want to bring up?
I thought like this online delivery platforms can be opened. Like it's not a like there are no much issues over there because even with the even while traveling, like while during the delivery, they can have their IDs or whatever.
I think the main problem the online delivery platforms are having is the transportation problem, because transporting a lot of goods will again become a problem when you will have since interstate travel is currently not there, you will have a lot of problem in transporting a lot of items from one state to another state, even when you're ordering things online. I'm talking about not only about food, grocery online services. I'm talking about in general any other online delivery services also.
Only the necessary services should be provided.
Yeah.
Like not like phones or the electronic gadgets. Only the necessary items should be provided.
And
that should be fine.
Yeah.
So I think we covered about at least 80% of what we
Actually,
feel.
this is a very big topic.
Yeah.
It's like you need to think more and you need to like
be not being
it in all the sectors. It involves all the sectors, and it should think more. They should have experts to discuss this. No. Yeah, done. Okay, fine.
But in general, we're just discussing what are our opinions and our understanding as students and as this one, because we are a part of this society, so we also have to understand how the society works. So that's why I just wanted to come and discuss about everyone's opinions about how you feel this lockdown should come, because everyone has their opinions and everyone's opinions are valid and make sense. So yeah, that's what I want to talk about.
Okay, Shravan, what do you think about the curve? Like in India, like right now it is like 11,000 or something, the cases. And what do you think about the curve? Like by the end of this, again the lockdown 2.0, by the end of that lockdown, do you think the cases will come to a flat curve, or do you think the cases will rise? You can have an opinion or have a word on.
I feel a lot of places with a limited number of cases till now will see a flattening and drop in the curve, but those specific places which are now seeing exponential rise will continue to mostly see a rise till the end of this lockdown also. So unless you have already controlled the rise by now, there is not going to be a flattening and a fall in the curve. So those places which have controlled it should see a fall. Those places which haven't been able to control it, like maybe Mumbai and Delhi, might continue to see a rise, and the effect of the lockdown will be seen at a much later stage for them compared to now, is what I feel.
Harikesh, I think his video is paused.
Yeah. So I think we'll end the discussion then over here for today. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think this is a very brief and nice discussion, and I think we covered most of the points. So
mostly informal.
Yeah, mostly informal. So I think the next one which we'll be doing is more focused on the growth. I mean, the coronavirus curve, and how certain regions of the country have been able to control it very well. So I think we should prepare a little bit more for that and talk about it maybe in a little more detailed format, because it's a very interesting topic and it's more related to us as medical students also.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
See you,
Right.
Sachin. Yes. Bye bye.